Man, my rattles came off, and then they flew onto my snare. Just kept them there, tried to keep playing them, moving them around, and then tried to keep the groove going while I had to. Then they fell off my snare, and I had to pick them up off the ground. But what I did was I just created my own stack out of a 10-inch splash and the china, and then I used my fast crash with the rattles on it, and then threw the tamby on the cased sweet 15 inches. So, yeah, explorations of sound. And I gotta go to work here in 2 seconds, but I was having too much fun that I couldn't stop, and I was trying to keep playing while picking my rattles back up. But it's cool that you can get all sorts of different, cool textures and cool different sounds. And if you mount this, up here on the actual tension rod, where, you don't get the cool flavors, that you do when it's sitting directly on the hats, and depending on how much, velocity and dynamics you use with coming down with it. But I kind of just anchored it down on one side, and I made sure I had the rubber part that's on here down on the cymbals, so that I'm not gonna tarnish the crap out of the cymbals from, plastic, whatever, or metal rubbing on metal. But yeah, they sure add a good amount of weight to the hats. Getting them to do their, they barely raise up to the height they're supposed to because of the weight of the tambies. But yeah, it's just cool. And then I had the rattles up on here too, and I need to get a proper stack mount. But it's just fun to, create different little textures. And man, there's 4 different tones I can get out of this just by putting the rattles on there too, Alright guys, I gotta get to work, but and I try to take the overtones out of the snare for this one so that I could hear the other sound, just, because I don't know, I'm gonna listen on playback and just see how, because this has kind of a cool little rain texture to it, also putting the rattles on it heavier, like putting them on my 20, my Peisty 2020. But it does create this cool little rain effect. Yeah, that's cool. it sounds cool. It's got this cool like little rain effect to it. I don't know. We'll see how it sounds on playback. I don't know, probably just upload this video, mistakes and all. And that way I can listen back to it on, well, and obviously it's not through the mic array. I do have the mic array set up though, and it is coming out of the amp. So, although we're getting the phone microphone, it'll still capture the textures in a way where I can listen back on a better audio system and still get a sense of, you know, is that really being heard? Is that little rain sound really that pronounced? Or what? Like what's sticking out dynamically? And what sounds do I like that are cool? So I don't know. I'm always just trying to have fun reusing things in different ways, and you know, just using different objects in different ways, and taking the symbols I already have and out of them. So that's what my stack looks like right now. But yeah, I just turned it upside down and threw the 10-inch. This is a original A 10-inch splash. So it's just I got that, you know, this used china with the hole in it, the repair, for dirt cheap, next to nothing. And then this is the original A splash, and then I just turn that upside down on top of it, and just crank down a little bit on the wing nut. And you know what actually works best for these guys is not wing nuts, is Vader caps. Those black caps that have the little knob that are quick release caps. So if you want to create your own stacks out of just regular mounts, it's not hard to do. As you can see, I've literally just got, I'm using, all I had left was this 2-pronged heavy-duty DW double brace, double armed stand. That's a great stand. But I literally have the whole stand sitting there just to hold up for my splash. So, you know, I just started putting different things in different places and just kind of experimenting around and having fun. I've created stacks for quite a while, created my own, because I've never had enough money to buy, you know, like actual stack pairs. I mean, they're quite expensive for what they are, and you can own if you know how to just kind of go about taking the symbols that aren't like your shining gem symbols, you know, because you'll start to tarnish the symbols. So if you have metal rubbing on metal for too long, you know, you'll start to get lines on the symbols where the metal's rubbing against metal. But that's why you can see, like, I'm using them with 2 symbols that are, I don't really care if they get, you know, more damage. This one already has a hole punched out of it, right? How much more damage could it get? So you can create really cool things just out of things you already have, you know, and based on the amount of pressure you put down between the two. And another trick I'll do is I'll put moon gel in between the 2 symbols. So if people haven't tried that before, if you just stick some moon gel, like in the 4 quadrants, or maybe just on the opposite 2 ends, then the symbol will sit in such a way where like moon gel will be here, moon gel will be here, so it'll be raised off a little bit. So if you hit it on one side versus the other, it will give you more of like that trash, you know, stack sound versus a different sound or a deader sound where you hit where the moon gel's at. And it will also keep the symbols from being right on top of each other and rubbing on each other as much. But like I said, I don't really all care that much, and I'm just looking for sound differences. But also, I care about my gear. I don't want it getting ruined, obviously. So I'm just trying to share info that will help, you know, if you guys want to experiment and explore. That's what it's all about, in my opinion. I love trying to just create different grooves and create different sounds and patterns and just use the stuff that I have, you know. Like, I literally just have a random, you know, percussion instruments and, you know, cymbals on the ground and cowbell on the floor, and another, you know, so whatever I can grab around, and just to kind of create different sounds without having to go too crazy with buying a bunch of stuff and other mounts and that kind of stuff. So I don't really have money for a, you know, huge cymbal array and a bunch of stacks, so I just kind of used all my used stands and just cheap stands, PDP stands, and used stands mostly. And this was actually a stand I got from one of my very first drum teachers. I don't know how many years ago, but it was used for him when he gave it to me, and this is the only one I've like kept throughout. I'm now on my 7th year. I started my 7th year of playing this year, so I've had this for the full 7 years of playing. But all my other stuff is just, you know, you can see it's not expensive stuff. It's just like Pacific, you know, PDP. I have a Pearl stand here. I have another Pearl, but anyway, so I'm not working with like expensive cymbal setups and that kind of stuff, you know, and most of my cymbals are used. So it's just, you know, not these hats and not this ride, but everything else that I've gotten is pretty much used. So it's just having fun with your sounds. All right, guys. Love you. Have a great day. Happy drumming, and I will see you on the next one. God bless everyone.